let's just get into it. Let's just jump into it. First of all, uh, the Celtics. Let's see. It was Game 3. The first of like, I was about to say first of all again. Like, you can't even make this up, man. I mean, like, you have Jalen Brown. Almost did it again. Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum in Game 3 combining for a 60 bomb. And Kyrie, he decides he's going to show up that game, but it doesn't matter because nobody else decided to play except for Luka. I mean, like, look, the problem with Dallas this whole series, they just did not ever have the depth. Like, even with the Celtics playing just 3 guys off their bench, right? You know, they didn't play. It looks like what's his name? Porzingis did not play. He's not included. But you know, they got production from Sam Hauser. They got a shot from Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman, Michigan State legend, one of my favorite college basketball players from Michigan State. He got 3 points in the finals. And he was a +9 player. But on the other side of it, I mean, Derek Lively decided to have a decent game off the bench, 11 points. I guess 10 rebounds or 13 rebounds. It's double-double. All right, decent stuff. But it was just, it didn't matter, right? Like, and it wasn't like the Celtics needed that kind of a game from Tatum or from Brown, right? Like, I mean, in this particular game, they needed it, but they didn't need it every game. And it just felt like the Mavericks basically needed masterpiece games, both on defense and offensively, from their superstars in Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. And Luka can't play defense to save his life. And frankly, neither can Kyrie. And when Kyrie was having, on and off games where he'd go from shooting like 0 from 3 to shooting, 30, dropping a 35 piece, it's like, that's not reliable. That's not helpful. All that's going to do is, in a way, it's like Kyrie's kind of in a lose-lose situation, right? Because let's say, I mean, he had this breakout game, but the fact that he had the breakout game by the time in a losing effort, right, in a game they weren't winning, and on top of that, he has this big game after they went down 2-0, and he was a no-show in those games. It's like, it's too little too late, buddy. I mean, it's hard enough to come back down 2-0, let alone come back down 3-0. So, look, they lose Game 3. You go on to Game 4, and the Mavs decide to show some life. And, look, to me, and I was watching this game kind of on the side because I was just like, whatever, the Mavs are just killing them. I mean, 122-84 is like, if you only saw this game, if like this was your first viewing of the NBA Finals, you would have thought the Dallas Mavericks were far and away the better team. And look, I guess for the Celtics in this particular game that they, were unable to complete the sweep, nothing was going right for them. I mean, your highest shooter or your highest point production came from Jason Tatum, who guess who? 15 points. Like, not exactly a lights out showing from the forward one Jason Tatum, but it was just one of those games. Everything went right for the Mavericks, and nothing was going right for the Celtics. Weirdly enough, though, I mean, like, from their starting 5, the Mavs really didn't get that much. I mean, they got a lot from Kyrie and from Luka, but PJ Washington just 6 points, Gafford just 7, Jones 5, but they got production from guys on the bench. Your Derek Lively's and your Dante Exums of the world, who, by the way, at one point, as noted in last week's show, at one point, Dante Exum had more threes than Kyrie Irving in the finals with 1. Thought I'd let that out there. And obviously the game everybody's talking about, the elimination game. Celtics win it 106-88 at home. It's back-to-back years now where the champion wins the series at home. I always think that's cooler. I'm sure it's definitely cooler for the fans there. It's just, it's always kind of awkward when you see a team win on the road and it's like people are like booing you or like they don't want to be there. There's like 13 of your team's fans that actually traveled to the game. But hey, they got it done. And as far as Dallas was concerned, uh Kyrie is just if you're gonna make it to the finals, don't play Boston because Kyrie is going to embarrass you. He shot 3 for 9 from three, which is it's not great. Okay, it's not great. 33 or yeah, that's 33%, right? If my math serves me. It's not great. Okay, that's not great. And then 5 for 16 from the field in general is not great either. Very little presence outside of that. I mean, he had the 15 points. He had 3 rebounds, 9 assists. Luca, whatever. He had a double double. Whatever. I mean, like it's like yeah, Luca puts up some good stats. Great. He didn't play defense. I mean, he played 43 minutes. Give him credit there. Played like the whole game. Same with Kyrie. He played, but well, with Kyrie he played. But did you even notice him? Did you really? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, both of them were negative players on the court. Luca negative 19. The guy he refuses to play. He's like me, except I can't shoot. Really, me and Luca were very similar. I'm unathletic and I can't shoot and I don't play defense. We're basically give me a Mavs jersey. How much does Luca make? I could give me like a third of that and I'll take. How much does he make? Luka Doncic contract. 5-year, 215 minutes. Yeah, give me like a third of that. You know, I could live with that. Yeah, sure, whatever. Put me on. You know what you could do? I could be like Steven Izzo on Michigan State. You just put me in when the game is over, and maybe I'll draw a foul, and I'll probably just brick both the free throws. But either way, I'm like the victory anthem. Once I am in the game, that's how you know the game is over. But anyway, on the Celtics side of it, Tatum probably had either his best, if not his second best, depending on the game on the road where he dropped 31. He really did go off in this game. He had a double-double, 31 points, 11 assists, 8 boards, just a couple of rebounds away from the triple-double. He shot just 1 for 7 from 3, which is not great. 11 for 24 from the field is also not amazing, but I mean, hey, the guy got a lot of shots off, so he got a lot of points. 8 for 8 from the free throw line. So driving to the basket, drawing fouls. That's nothing to sneeze at. And obviously Jaylen Brown as well, 21-point showing for him. Kind of a nothing game from the bench. I mean, Porzingis had 5 points. I didn't honestly. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with all of you. I didn't even notice him. Like I really did. I was like, I heard that he was playing. I did not. I think I noticed him after the game when they were doing the trophies and they called him out, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He was technically on this team. His legacy is going to be kind of weird, at least in terms of like around this particular team, because like he was not in the playoffs. He had like one good game in the finals, and then he was just like, you know what, my leg doesn't work. my leg it fell off, and I was running on a peg leg. He's like a pirate out there. But again, the thing that I've gone back to this is just that. Excuse me. It's just that top to bottom, this Boston team just had far more production and great quality players than Dallas did. I mean, like, PJ Washington's a good player, but he didn't show up. Okay, PJ Washington had 4 points. He had 4 more points than me, and he made as many threes as me. Okay, 0 for 5 from 3. You can't do it. You can't do it in a starting 5, especially not in an elimination game. And I know they're down 3-1. I understand. Teams usually don't come back down 3-1. Kyrie knows a lot about coming back from 3-1, but not this time. But I will say, I don't know if I saw it or if I just came up with it myself. This is how I think of things. This is probably the first time. Well, This is the first time that Kyrie Irving helped lead the Celtics to a Finals championship. So hey, he said he was all for Boston. He was sticking with Boston. He's gonna be there for them, and He ended up being true. Please. He had like one good game. Maybe two. Maybe two. I think basically just one. Basically just one. Like, here's the thing. So, I want to kind of, and also Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP, so people can continue to, clown on Jason Tatum, which I'm fine with. I think it's funny. Speaking of clowning, I mean, we did it! Saw that live, and I was like, that's really. Did you practice that in the mirror? We did it! I bet you did, Jason. I bet you did. So now he's a permanent member of the BS Sports soundboard. So congratulations, Jason. Congratulations, Jason. We did it! We did it! Yeah, he's so happy to be on the board.
The Celtics are the balls.
The Celtics are the balls. That's right. But I wanted to make another point about this because I want to somewhat circle this to my beloved Detroit Pistons, and everybody loves the Pistons. Who doesn't love the Pistons? So here's a little fun stat for you. So the last time the Pistons won a playoff game was in 2008. Now, for those of you who are not good at math, I believe that is hold on. I think that's 16 years ago. Methinks? Yeah, that's 16 years ago. Okay. Now, the Celtics, prior to this championship, their last title was in 2008, 16 years ago. So basically, over a span of 16 years, the Celtics went from winning their last championship in 2008 and winning another championship. This is the second time they've been, by the way. Meanwhile, the Pistons have yet to win a playoff game in that span. The Celtics can go from championship team to championship team over a 16-year span. The Pistons cannot go from playoff game winning team to back to that. back to being a team that wins a playoff game. Why do I even still watch this team? Why do I even still follow the NBA? I should just be a Celtics fan. Because at least if I go through a 16-year pain with the Celtics, I can be like, you know what? At least I know in 16 years I'll win a championship. And another factoid about this, obviously not the Celtics, leading the NBA in championships over their long storied career franchise was 18. Which is absurd because the NBA has been a thing for 77 years at this point. I want to say 77, 70, 76, somewhere around that. So for like a seventh, or I don't know if the math is right on that. For a decent portion of the time, the Boston Celtics were the champions of that particular league. Now, granted, I mean, things have changed. The league is a lot more competitive than it once was. Shout out Bill Russell, 6 championships. Wasn't it 6? I think it was. I don't remember. Whatever. Shut up. This is not a history class, okay? Listen. I want to bring this to some Piston related thing. So just to close this section out. If the Celtics can go over a 16-year span and go from championship to championship. And the Pistons' last championship was 20 years ago. So we've already beaten them in regards to that drought. So does that mean that basically, in order for the Pistons to get out of this, you know what we got to do? We got to sign Kyrie Irving or something. We need to reverse curse ourselves. So the Celtics were in a down bad spot, right? Like they sold off Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett to the Nets. They got all that draft capital. They bring in Kyrie Irving. You know, I think that was before. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what the timeline was on that. They bring in Kyrie Irving at some point, and it just seems like, basically since that, things have gone well for them. I'm not suggesting that the Pistons go and get Kyrie Irving. However, if the Pistons getting Kyrie Irving, if there was some clear correlation and proof that if you sign Kyrie Irving and you have some middling years where, he inevitably disappoints you or whatever. And then sometime later, you get to beat him in the final. I'll take it. Yeah, sure. I don't know how many more years Kyrie Irving's got left in the league. I mean, he's not exactly, slowed down necessarily, but he's not who he once was. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, I just can't believe that the Pistons traded Chauncey Billups. Why did they trade Chauncey Billups, man? Why did they do it? For not Carmelo, for Allen Iverson. You know what?
The Celtics are the balls.
That's how I'm concluding this section. You can't stop me. Hey there, what you just watched was actually a clip from a larger show that we do every Tuesday night. What are you doing Tuesday night? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button so that you don't miss out on any more of our weekly shows every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.